up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statt Mann.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, in 15 minutes, your winner from Phoenix, Christopher Bell, your NASCAR Cup Series winner from Phoenix, will be joining us right here on the Freak Radio Network and on MAV TV, YouTube Live, and everything else that we hook up to during a Speed Freaks live show. Christopher Bell will spend about 10 minutes with us here in the Freak Nation. Daniel Suarez will also join us. We'll also have NHRA Funny Car winner J.R. Todd. And if that wasn't enough, the dominant performance by muscle-bound Josef Newgarden will spend a couple of probably 10, 15 minutes with us here in the Freak Nation as well. So, yeah, a packed freaking show for you tonight. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and watch us on MAV TV, the website speedfreaks.tv. That's speedfreaks.tv. A lot of news coming out of the IndyCar series, some of it not so good, but the good news is, damn it, they got through turns 1 and turn 2 without shrapnel being thrown from here to freaking Georgia at the St. Pete race. So, yeah, we'll get to that. Christopher Bell with the big win again in Phoenix. And there were some people coming into this series. And again, when I say people, Statt Mann is a Twitter aficionado, or X, as I like to say. Statt Mann pays a lot of attention to X. And I was really disappointed that Statt Mann was believing a lot of the hearsay on X earlier today, Statt Mann, that today's Phoenix race was as boring as the November race. But I beg to differ with you. We had more yellows, we had more lead changes, and we had a lot of back and forth, although it was a Toyota dominance there, Statt Mann.
There was a Toyota dominance, and Christopher Bell might say something different, but I got to believe that there's got to be some sandbagging going on. They share all their information, but it's just amazing to me how the Toyotas kind of wander around, and when the green flag drops, they all go to the front and outrun everybody else.
If you remember, Crasher, I'm sorry, Crasher, I know this because I was there. If you remember at Daytona in the duels, or actually qualifying, and then the duels came around, all of a sudden, those Toyotas decided to make an appearance, but qualifying, they were S. It was an S show for Toyotas. So, Crasher, what Statt Mann's saying, and I even used sandbagging, I believe, on Friday with a driver. So not surprising.
At Phoenix Raceway?
Yes, at Phoenix Raceway.
Well, no, Toyotas they were on the pole. Denny Hamlin was on the pole. Tyler Reddick was right up there. There were a lot of strong Toyotas throughout the weekend. They just didn't all have great starts or beginning of the race, or the ones that were good at the beginning fell back. The ones that weren't great at the beginning came forward. So it's almost like they were dominant in all forms of this race, including qualifying earlier in the weekend. So I wouldn't call this a sandbagging weekend, but there were some intriguing things throughout the beginning of the season so far.
Well, one of the things that we may learn as we go along here is that this is the first, shall we say, short track race of the season. And they had some problems on the super speedways, crashes and so forth. But with this the shorter the track got, the faster the cars got. So you have to wonder what that's going to mean. They go to Bristol next, an even shorter track. So you have to wonder what this means for the season.
Sorry, I don't want to freak people out.
Crasher, don't go there. Please don't go there. I know what you're about to do.
I'm a little distracted by the Gold Cup going on right now.
Okay, great.
Just didn't want people to freak out.
Appreciate that.
I didn't want them to freak out at why my eyes were so weird.
Got it. You, Crasher, and Richard C. Suave spent the majority of the time today. Richie's still there. He's in the freaking media center with that beautiful background that was created by good friends there at Phoenix Raceway. Isn't that beautiful?
He has diamonds behind him.
Richie, what did you pull from today's race, hanging out at the racetrack for the last 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, my friend, with the Toyota dominance?
Yeah, I was following along on Twitter a lot of the race, and people were complaining like crazy.
Yep.
But that you get that every Phoenix race. But let me give you a stat here, okay? Let me give you a stat. I saw this retweeted by Jeff Gluck earlier. So here are the number of green flag passes at Phoenix since March of 2022, which is the first race of the next gen era. 2,058 in March of 2022. Okay, let's go back to November of 2023, the championship race, 2,201. Today, March of 2024, there were 2,813 green flag passes today at Phoenix Raceway. Now, I think a lot of that came in stage 1 and stage 2, where the racing was really good. There was racing up front for the lead. That battle between Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick was incredible. And I would have seen them more at the front in the third stage. The third stage got really strung out. It wasn't as interesting. I was watching a lot of the third stage from up in the stands, actually, to try and get an idea of what the fans were watching as opposed to watching on TV. So I'm curious to see what fans think of it. I think people are just done with Phoenix at this point. I don't really think it makes for a good product anymore. And they really have a lot to figure out in terms of the short track package in general. NASCAR does, for sure.
Can you clarify those numbers in the 2000s as far as green flag passes, right? It's not necessarily
Correct.
lead changes.
No, absolutely. No, not lead changes, just
okay.
passes in general, the entire field. Yeah.
The whole field, just passes in general anywhere on the track. Okay.
And here's also that something that's confusing to me. And granted, the RCR family has had some issues first 2 or 3 races as far as their pits go. Kyle Busch in particular. Kyle Busch firing. Okay. Kyle Busch replacing some of his pit crew this weekend at Phoenix. But man, how can your car be so freaking piss poor, so bad, when you have a dominant car? Okay, a car that could win in Las Vegas, a car that could win in Atlanta. I know it's different setups, but how can you be that damn far off?
To be honest, look at Alex Bowman. Look at Kyle Larson. The Chevys did not have a good performance in Phoenix today whatsoever. They just didn't. I'm not saying this is definitely a Toyota versus Chevy thing in performance at a track like Phoenix, but you can't just say RCR cars were piss poor. A lot of the Chevys were.
I just saw with Kyle and Austin qualifying, 30th and 31st.
Yep.
Like, holy smokes. Were there actual note cards that they were using when they should have been using maybe an iPad and bring it up to 2015 because their notes were so freaking old? And I know it's the new setup. It's the new car, but man, they were off, Statt Man.
Well, it would appear that all the teams, all the Ford teams, all the Chevy teams, and all the Toyota teams are sharing all their information. So if somebody at the top gets it wrong, then it would appear that everybody's getting it wrong. Chevys were very dominant early on, and they had a bad day-to-day. Toyotas struggled early. They had a good day-to-day. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. But maybe that's the case. If somebody has it wrong from the beginning, then the teams are hesitant to strike out on their own, get their own ideas going, and creating their own setups and going with that.
Can I make a comparison? It's like let's say we all go to the Southern Hippie buffet in Podunk, USA. We all eat the chicken. The chicken's rotten. We all get food poison. Is that what's happening? Is that someone
have engineering poisoning?
Yeah, someone's notes with Chevy are like food poisoning.
What?
Yeah, and they just pass it down.
Setup poisoning. There you go.
Setup poisoning.
Setup poisoning.
It's actually a very good comparison.
Like that.
Yeah, but why do you think teams might be hesitant to strike out on their own if they've got the smarter heads instead of Chevy corporate or Ford corporate? Might as well raise your hand and say, I've got an idea.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I've got 4 cars in this thing, and I got to do, and I'm generally outrunning you, but if I have to, share with you everything that I have, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not racing anymore. It's us versus them.
I guess I'm partial. Statt, Richie, Crasher. Living in Phoenix, it's badass having damn near the first race of the season. Okay, the first quarter, and then having the season-ending race here.
Sold out stands again. Sold out stands.
Yeah.
Completely sold out. Not a seat to be had.
I know it's about ratings. I know it's about eyeballs on your apps and your Hulu and your hip hop and Roku and all. I understand all that. But it's also, damn, it's just, really? Homestead? I saw, let's get back to Homestead.
No,
what
Homestead.
an S-box.
Who forgets that already?
Oh, God.
That was an awful finale. That was, oh my, no. Not only was the on-track product bad, but you are 45 minutes to an hour outside of a big city anyway. So no, not Homestead. Nope.
Richie, where would you put it? You got about 30 seconds. Where would you put your freaking final? Just rotate it?
You got to rotate it. Absolutely.
I agree with that. I like that idea.
You'd rotate it to Charlotte, it'd rain. You'd rotate it to Texas, it would rain.
On a road course, dude.
I
You
would
really
love
change
it.
things up?
You're preaching to the choir, Skipjack. You know that.
Austin.
Dude,
Coda.
it would rain.
It was raining.
I don't know,
You
I've
could
seen
at least
some
race.
rain at road courses as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Freak Nation, Christopher Bell, your winner from Phoenix, will sit down with us for about 10 minutes. He joins us next. Got to ask him about those Toyotas. What kind of information are they sharing or not sharing? And does he really want to share all that information with his Toyota compadres? We'll find out next. SpeedFreaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios, MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Now, that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the Freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAV TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAV TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth worth it? If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Christopher Bell, your Phoenix winner, joining us here in the Freak Nation. That's right. It seems like we can't get out of a show without C. Bell joining us here in the Freak Nation. And it seems that there might have been some conversation during the Fox broadcast, Chris, where they were talking about how they were surprised you weren't running up front, given the way you qualified, the way you were running in practice. Did you hear that these guys were kind of bagging on you, saying, "Where's Christopher Bell right now?"
No, but I do believe it, because we were hot garbage. Who says that? Someone says that. Hot garbage. That's what we were the first run of the race. So we needed a pit stop, and needed a pit stop bad to work on it. And then Adam Stevens worked his magic and brought us to life.
When do you know that that's happening? When do you feel like you're coming back to life? As soon as you leave the pit stop, or does it take 2 or 3 laps to figure it out?
I would say, I mean, in this scenario, it took probably 5 to 10, just because I don't know. I wasn't very good on restarts all day, but as soon as it got strung out, that run 2, the first run in stage 2, I knew that I was a lot better than what I was. And I was able to, make passes, which I couldn't do in stage 1.
But hot garbage coming off of an amazing test in the offseason. And then today, Toyota just showing up. I mean, let's just put this in perspective. Coming into this race with this new car, Toyota led Phoenix 15 laps total. Today, you guys had 298 laps led out of the 312 possible. So what happened in the offseason that helped Toyota just vault to the top?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there's one thing in particular that helped us get a lot better, but we were close in the fall, and I never got an opportunity to show it because I wrecked out so early. But I know that I was capable of leading laps in the fall race, and it didn't happen, and I wrecked out. So it doesn't surprise me. We obviously improved, and the new car seems like it's performing really well. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just circumstances that we hadn't led laps.
You earlier in this interview were giving a lot of credit to Adam Stevens. Let's give credit to the guy behind the wheel as well. You were driving around a lot of people. That lap traffic at this track is frustrating. How did you make today come to light from the cockpit point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I did a really good job there, stage 3 on the restart that led to that long green flag race, or long green flag run at the end. I was able to pass cars, but it was really about my car underneath me, and that thing was just incredibly fast, and I was able to really move around the racetrack and make passes, and run different lines, stuff like that. So it was more so about having a great car today. That's for sure.
Christopher Bell is the NASCAR Cup winner at Phoenix this weekend. Christopher, I picked you the first couple of weeks of the season, and I said, well, let me give him a chance to get himself together. And then you win.
You didn't pick me today, did you?
I didn't pick you today. No,
but the 2 super speedways, you can't hold that one against me. Vegas was what I consider the first race of the year. And obviously we had that flat tire, and with these cars, if you get a flat tire, you're in trouble, and it damaged the diffuser, and we were slow the rest of the day. So between Atlanta and Vegas, we had 2 pretty bad races, and it feels really nice to recover.
It must, and it seems like, and I don't know any other way to say this, but it seems like the Toyotas have developed a business plan to not do well until the green flag drops, and in some cases they call that sandbagging. Is that what's going on with the Toyota team?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. Denny, who else? Reddick, the 43, the 54, they were all inside the top 10 or the top 10. They made the second round of qualifying, and Denny and I think Ty were on the front row of the race. So, and I performed really well in practice. So, I think our cars we hit on the setup this week, and, all of our cars were probably capable of winning under the right circumstances.
How does that happen, though, Christopher, that the teams do well or they don't do well instead of individual guys leaping out there? Is there that much information that's being shared between the different manufacturing teams?
Well, I know amongst our company, everything's shared. So like we know all the way from the springs to the shocks to the tire pressure of what our teammates are running. And it's really the crew chief's decision if they want to be the same as another competitor, if they want to be different. So, I mean, it's I don't know what to tell you other than obviously all of our cars were really good and had capability. So, it was a strong day for the JGR Camrys.
Christopher Bell, your winner from Phoenix, joining us here in the Freak Nation, NASCAR Cup star again. Looks like he's set for the playoffs, but that's way down the road. You talk about Toyota sharing of information. I hear from owners, I hear from crew chiefs, but what about drivers? Is there ever time you tell your crew chief, your owner, say, bro, don't share all this with Denny. Don't share all this with another Toyota driver. We got something here, man, that I don't want to share with the other drivers.
I think we'd probably get fired if we did that. It's definitely one team, one goal at JGR, and we all try to make sure that we finish 1, 2, 3, 4. And, we had capability of that today. The 54 was really fast. The 11 was good. The 19 obviously had a strategy not follow his way, but all four of us showed pace at different times throughout the race.
Well, Phoenix certainly was exciting today compared to some previous races, and especially for you, given the last time you were here at this racetrack. Do you think you have this track figured out yet?
You never say that because it can go away in a hurry. But we had a great day today, and hopefully that means we'll at least we'll have a good starting point whenever we come back in November.
Well,
hold on though. Do you think this win pacifies some of your hometown friends, social media people, best friends, who are a little upset that you went to a Suns game this weekend? You got to be supporting your Thunder now, right?
How did you know I went? Oh, I guess I posted on social media, didn't I?
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
So I mean, I like the Suns. I like Suns and OKC. They're my teams.
Devin Booker's actually the whole Suns lineup is pretty spectacular. So yeah, I'll give you that. They are a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher, go enjoy this as always, buddy. It's fantastic when you roll in the Freak Nation.
See you guys.
Christopher Bell here in the Freak Nation, and talk about a guy that's fortunate as heck. We know a lot of the guys that work with Toyota and the guys who work with the sponsors that are happy to have that young guy behind the wheel doing what he does, especially winning early. I think that's so underrated in NASCAR.
I think he just waited for me to come out with my Beat the Freaks picks. And when I didn't choose him, everybody at Toyota said, all right, go do them, and they shared all their notes, got everything together, and they said, Statt Mann's out of here, so bang, let's go win something.
Yes, drive angry. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you are one of those guys. You rode that freaking Martin Truex bus for a long dang time, man.
Jimmy Johnson, I rode that, but that was a good bus. I got a lot of mileage out of that bus. I rode him to 7 championships.
Pretty freaking spectacular, yeah.
Which, by the way, at first blush, Richie, how do you think we did with Beat the Freaks?
We'll find out. You never know.
No, but I don't even remember who I picked. Did I pick Christopher Bell?
I think I picked a bunch of dang Chevys. I think I picked Kyle Larson and Kyle. Remember, we picked these before they qualify, typically.
We picked them while they were still at home with their family.
Actually, we did. We picked them because we were doing interviews on Tuesday, and we decided, let's just keep the cameras rolling. Let's do our picks on Tuesday.
If you don't know what we're talking about, make sure you follow us on Twitter, where you get a shot to win a set of General tires. If you beat us
every week, you get a shot.
Yep.
Every week.
If you beat us with your 3 picks, typically it's a NASCAR race. if you beat us, again, we had Todd Gilliland as a celebrity picker this weekend. But if you beat us, you take home a set of General Tires. And those stupid bots that are out there that register, I don't know how they do this, man.
Yeah, they just find giveaway things. Hey, fun fact. The only other driver to lead laps today outside of Toyota, Todd Gilliland.
Dang, that guy. Dang,
That's
man.
our mojo, right?
What?
That has to be us.
Who wins first, Todd Gilliland or Randy LaJoy?
Corey LaJoy.
Corey LaJoy.
If Randy LaJoy wins something, we got to stop the presses.
Yeah,
Yep.
woo!
Corey LaJoy or Todd Gilliland? Richie, that would be a
front row is.
Mhm.
I'm going to go Todd.
Richie, put that out there on Twitter.
I'm going to go Todd.
You know, we could talk about, was Phoenix a good race or bad race? And Jeff Gluck does very well with that, friend of the Freak Nation. But, man, all right, we got a break, guys. Statt Mann Scat, Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes, and damn IndyCar can't get out of their own way. We'll explain coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios, and, of course, on MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Now, that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the Freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
I hope you remembered International Women's Day Friday. It was a time to celebrate the achievements of women. In the automotive world, more women were involved in creating the automobile than are recognized now. For example, there are 13 female inductees in the Inventors Hall of Fame, only 3 for car-related inventions like the heater and the windshield wiper. There's one, though, that might have had a part to play in how you are watching me right now. Actress Hedy Lamarr was born in Vienna in 1914, escaped the Nazis, and ended up a Hollywood star. She may be best known for Ziegfeld Girl in 1941 and Samson and Delilah in 1949. But along the way, Lamarr loved to tinker and solved problems. In fact, she helped develop a way to track torpedoes during World War II. The technology that manipulated radio frequencies was used in the creation of Wi-Fi in the 1990s, half-century later. Lamarr's contributions led to her being inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame in 2014. The Only Woman in the Room by Marie Benedict details Lamarr's life. You should take the time to read it. Peace.
And again, happy International Women's Day, which happened last week, I believe it was. Friday, and happy International Women's Day to our own Crash Gladys. Brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation, now through the end of April. You heard me talking about the spot break? You can get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire. More information? Go to generaltire.com. Hedy Lamarr, who would have thunk? My goodness. Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes and Moments. Also coming up this hour, Josef Newgarden. Dude dominated freaking St. Pete. And
you mean he Verstappened?
Yes, he did. Yeah, is that the first mention of Formula One in this show?
It is.
All right. All right, let's get some.
You get a demerit for that, Crash, Women's Day or not. You can't.
Valid. No, you are right. You are right. Well, I'm going to mention it again in news and notes, though. So
Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes brought to our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out the line of products to keep your rides fat and happy. Don't believe me? Go to lucasoil.com. Inside your engine, outside your engine, they got it. That's Lucas Oil and lucasoil.com. Crasher?
IndyCar and NHRA have now entered the chat.
Uh-oh.
Awesome. Almost everybody and their brother and sister and mother and father and cousin, we're all racing again. So Bike Week still going on in Daytona. Kyle Peters and Chase Marquier splitting the Arena Cross mains on Friday night. Then the Daytona 200, Moto America Superbikes. Did I see 56 bikes taking the green flag? 56. That's insane. But the cream really did need to rise in that crowd, as winner Josh Herron certainly did. Mad props to him. Supercross raced in Alabama this weekend. Jet Lawrence just continuing to buffer his points lead with yet another win on the 450. And Tom Viale with another win on the 250s, 250 East. Back to Florida, both IndyCar and NHRA kicked off their seasons in St. Pete and Gainesville, respectively. IndyCar was seemingly working their F1 Verstappen plan perfectly. I kid. But Josef Newgarden did dominate the weekend, not just with the pole, but with the most laps led, and of course, onto the checkered flag. Quick side note, since, well, I brought it up. Yes, F1 was much of the same this weekend in Saudi Arabia. Max Verstappen with the win, 13 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez. Yeah. NHRA winners from the Gator Nationals include a first time ever. This is mind boggling to me. First time ever double up with the Kalitta racing team. What? Yep. Sean Langdon in Top Fuel and J.R. Todd in Funny Car. They made a massive statement on the same weekend that the late Scott Kalitta was inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's huge. Erica Enders won in Pro Stock. Hey, speaking of International Women's Day, which was Friday, but this is Women's History Month. And she's setting all sorts of history records. Gage Herrera continuing the weekend theme of domination on his Pro Stock motorcycle, taking the win 1 year after his debut win. Out west in the desert, west, can I say that word? Out west in the dirt is where NASCAR played. William Sawalich with the win, Arcas in the rain on Friday night. My screen just went black. Hey. And Chandler Smith gifted the win in the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Yes, even he admits it was a gift. Poor Justin Allgaier. And the Toyotas, we've already talked about this. They just plain came to play in the Cup Series, leading 298 of the 312 laps total. Christopher Bell, you just heard from him on this show with the win. Now, as we've said, NASCAR is, of course, the main motorsport in America. Like it or not, they are the headline. But when a powerhouse like Michael Andretti chooses to pick a battle with another powerhouse like Roger Penske, this, of course, with the IndyCar series, that moves to the top of the topic list in our case. Let me just read a headline from Friday night in the Indianapolis Star. This is the headline. Michael Andretti to Roger Penske, : if he's not going to invest more, then sell the series.
Yow.
Let's discuss. Where do you want to even begin with that?
Oof.
Michael Andretti, of course, he has a promotion company that has promoted many IndyCar races. They're no slouch in promotions. Toronto, Portland, St. Pete. They know what they're doing to promote the series. Record crowds in St. Pete today. So does he have a leg to stand on in calling out Roger Penske, the owner of not just the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but also the IndyCar series?
It's been the elephant in the room that we've been calling out for a few years now. It's nice to see an owner, a significant owner in the motorsports world, again, recognize that elephant in the room. And that elephant in the room is a series that is flailing out there, that I think a lot of us think it should not be flailing. Wow.
Flailing or failing.
Yeah, or failing, right?
It's got amazing on-track product. It's got incredible personalities. There's no reason for it to be third tier in American motorsports. It just shouldn't.
Statt Mann, is Liberty Media still in play with IndyCar, you think?
I don't think so. I think Liberty Media's got bigger fish to fry. They got to decide what to do about Formula One. They're going to get some major bids for the series, probably from the Saudis again. So they got to all the profit they make from that, they may look back. But I don't know that. I don't know that IndyCar is big enough for Liberty Media after Liberty Media has tripled its money on Formula One.
But could they buy them cheaply? Of course, Formula One comparisons there, and more than triple their money.
I don't know. I don't know if there's that much growth. Maybe Liberty Media with a media background could do things with IndyCar that Roger Penske can't. Roger Penske could sell the series without selling the racetrack and the real estate that's there. And he'd have, I would think that if, and this is thinking out loud, I would think that if Liberty Media bought the track, they would want to IndyCar Entertainment. They would want to get that away from Roger Penske Entertainment. They would leave Roger with just the racetrack. That's a good investment for him, the property there. But it would be a very convoluted discussion. And but it would be better than the discussion that they're having now. The stories that we're reading from the behind the scenes at IndyCar would indicate that they don't know who even to ask what for. They're, it's sounding like the championship auto racing teams again. It's just
Yep.
Sad. I mean, it's just sad.
Remember what Roger paid for that series in IMS? We were all flabbergasted at how little he paid for that.
Yeah. I mean, he could right now make money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with the property there at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that was probably the biggest piece that he bought. Because we're interested in racing, we can look at the IndyCar series, but it doesn't seem like they know what to do with the series. The conversations that they're having is that we got to find somebody to invest in the series. I don't know. I don't know.
You got about 30 seconds.
Well, what came out of that Friday night headline and the words that were spoken by Michael Andretti, and he's finally, putting his foot down, is that the committee that Roger Penske had, a subcommittee, I should call it, that Roger Penske had promised 1 week prior, the subcommittee was announced Saturday in order to help grow the series. And a co-owner of Andretti Autosport is a part of it. His name is escaping me right now, but also I believe somebody with Meyer Shank, obviously somebody with Penske, somebody with Ganassi. So this subcommittee, let's see what they do. Let's see if anything makes headlines.
With a winner called
thermal.
Josef Newgarden coming up next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. Josef Newgarden next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Now that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAV TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAV TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, to kick off the 2024 season, IndyCar season, Josef Newgarden, a big race win for him in St. Pete. And Joseph, I'm a little flummoxed here because all I could think of during this race was MC Hammer and his album, Don't Hurt Him, Hammer. Joseph, don't hurt him, man. That was dominance, my friend.
I mean, you can't ask for much more. You know, it was a great weekend. I mean, honestly, just a tremendous weekend to start out. You know, right from the get-go, I felt like we had something to contend with, and we just built a little bit better each day. You know, the pole was, I don't want to say it was unexpected, but I wasn't like banking on us getting a pole here. So we started in a good spot. And then the race itself was just one of the cleanest days I've had, you know, one of the more simpler days I've had of building speed into the car. I mean, it was nice to not have to overextend yourself to find speed in the race car. And I think that makes a big difference. So yeah, I mean, it's a good start. You know, it's round one. Just like I said yesterday, you get the pole, you can't get too excited until you get through the race. And I think, you know, first race of the schedule, of course we want to start well, and this is going to go a long way, but we got a long way to go. I mean, there's 17 total, so we got to keep at it.
So Josef Newgarden, winner at the IndyCar opener at St. Pete. What's it feel like when you think you're dominating the race and the boss comes in your ear and says, don't throw it into the wall?
Well, you know, I said that after the race. You know, RP, you know, we were talking about a couple stories, and, you know, certainly that was one of them. You know, a story where they'd been in the lead in the past and had a huge lead and just almost threw it away. And you know, that's not what he wants to see you do. So I was kind of giggling in my helmet the whole time because we were building a nice lead up, and I thought, you know, it'd be really silly of me to throw this away just as Roger told me not to do. It can happen, you know, but you just try and work to not let that happen too often. Fortunately, it didn't happen today. We hung on. We were there in the end, and, you know, we were able to finish things off today.
So tell somebody who will never have the opportunity to lead an IndyCar race or race at St. Pete or Long Beach. It seems like the two of them have some similarities. I can't imagine that they do, but does one prepare you for the other?
Yeah, I think so. In a lot of respects, they are different. You know, we approach the setup slightly differently. You know, there's more top speed on the straightaway at Long Beach. It's a little bit longer. You know, the hairpin's unique at Long Beach compared to here. But in a lot of respects, you know, your street course performance here, I think, does indicate how you can run at Long Beach. And, you know, there are learnings that we'll take from here and say, okay, we can apply this, you know, trait of the car, or, you know, if you didn't have enough rotation, then, you know, you can try and figure out how to fix that, because you're probably going to have a similar problem at Long Beach. But it's just exhilarating. You know, street courses they're some of the coolest environments to watch an IndyCar live. I mean, it's a very visceral experience. I mean, you're right up there. It's in your face, and you can feel, you know, the energy of what an IndyCar can do. And it's the same driving it. You know, it's really fun when you're confident in the car and you're just kind of clicking off laps. I mean, I was like pinching myself a couple points there. Yeah, I still love it. I mean, this is my 13th year doing it. I mean, what a privilege it's been for me to have this job. And I still love competing. I still love turning laps, and especially doing it in the race. And I was like having to calm down a couple points. I'm like, look, the race is still going on. You can't lose focus. But I was really just enjoying it.
Joseph, you talk about the spectacle of street courses, and that's exactly what they are. It's been talked about that Roger may want to add some more street courses because of how it brings people to the race a little bit easier than some ovals do. Of
The fans want to complain about that. They want more ovals overall. And which street circuits would you really want to go to for IndyCar? What cities are big on the top of your list? Let's say if the schedule does expand.
It's a good question. It's tough. I mean, I agree with the sentiment that it's easy to bring people into an environment like this, especially when you can make it work. St. Petersburg has done a great job. I mean, it's not always easy to make a street course race flourish, and they really have done that here for 20 plus years. I mean, it feels like a huge event, and they are very supportive of starting our season. If you can find that at a different place, then yeah, it's a great atmosphere to bring people in. I think Dallas would be a great spot at some point. We love that market. We obviously want to get back there. So if there's a way to figure something out there, it would be tremendous. There's kind of fantasy places that you'd love to go to. I mean, I would love to figure out like New York City somehow, but I don't think that's feasible or possible. That's sort of a fantasy answer. But yeah, one thing I would also say is I enjoy the mix in IndyCar, and I think it's very critical, that we keep that true to the DNA. I love oval racing. I mean, it's some of my favorite form of IndyCar racing, but I love the mix between road, oval, and street. I mean, you've got to be so diverse across the team, your driving style, and you just can't have any weaknesses. And I love that aspect of it. So I think we've got a good ratio. I love seeing a couple ovals coming into the mix on the back end of this year, but I want to keep the ratio, correct.
Josef Newgarden, IndyCar Series winner from St. Pete, joining us here in the Freak Nation. I know you've got limited time, but real quick here. Turns 1, turns 2 in St. Pete. As fans, we cringe, but you guys seem to get through it this year successfully. Why this year versus previous years?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. It's always a trouble spot. Look, the pavement of the runway can always be a little different. Mostly the paintwork, the stripes. They always have a little different grip level each year. It was slippery. It was very slippery this year. I would say more so than last year. So I'm surprised we didn't have anyone mess up. But I was also pretty pleased to see we got through with no incidents. It's just inviting. Everybody's they're a little bit pent up. They're ready to get racing again. They want to prove themselves. And, it's a huge runway with, a lot of width. I mean, you can fit probably 8 cars wide there if you really wanted to. So it's just very inviting for people to make, big lunges and possibly make a mistake. I don't know how we got through it today, but it was good to see it mostly clean.
There's a lot made of your engineer, Luke Mason, and the success of the team last year, latter part of last year. And then, of course, this year, talked a little bit about him. Last thing for you, explain to the Freak Nation what an engineer does for a driver like yourself.
That's a great question. Look, there's a lot of talented engineers, very technically savvy individuals that work within motorsports and, work in a lot of other industries. Being a good race engineer is not just being technically savvy. I mean, it requires a different finesse. It requires a different skill set. In a lot of ways, you're interacting with some of the other, leading figures of the team. The driver is definitely a big indicator of strength, and they're kind of banding the whole group together, and the race engineer's doing that too. And I think Luke really exceeds and excels, I should say, at bringing everybody together and trying to focus in on the priority items. It's one thing to get lost in the technical, notebooks, and this is what the book is telling us to do. But you got to have that feel aspect. You got to have that intuitive instinct on, what do we need to be doing? If you're not comfy, well, then nothing's going to work right if you're just not comfy. And it sounds basic, but it's just like there's a finesse to it that, not everybody excels at. And I think Luke is just a tremendous race engineer. So I've always thought the world of him. I'm glad he's on my team. I want to find a lot of success together, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
Josef, thanks for doing this, man. I don't know the last time you heard MC Hammer and your name mentioned in the same interview, buddy.
No problem. I appreciate it, guys.
Right? Only in the Freak Nation. Josef Newgarden, your winner from St. Pete, joining us here in the Freaks. And Statt Mann, you saw the same broadcast I did. They were making a big deal about his body build this year. Dude's always been in shape, but this year, holy smokes, like I said, he looks like he ought to be in Rocky 6, taking on Stallone at 85.
Either that or taking over Matt Hagan's funny car in the NHRA. Matt Hagan is huge, but it would appear Josef Newgarden is trying to get to the same place. Maybe he won't fit in the car eventually, and he'll have to go. He made that success in sports cars. Maybe he's worried about fitting in the sports car cockpit versus IndyCar.
Crasher, when did you see IndyCar drivers pay more attention to fitness than they did typically in the past?
Around the same time that, I mean, I don't know if Ricky Carmichael was the catalyst in motorsports in general, but all motorsports, well, IndyCar before NASCAR, in my opinion, I'd have to really dive a little bit deeper, but I feel like that early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s is when a lot of drivers start, at least in IndyCar, started taking it very seriously. Fitness matters, and you can take hit after hit after hit, but if you're in good shape, you're going to recover better. And that was kind of the motivating factor. And I don't know, it just seems to, the timeline seems to go along with when Ricky Carmichael came into Supercross and set the tone there, and all the Supercross riders started working out more. So it's that same sort of timeline.
Yeah, you go back to, again, I know we only got about 30 seconds, so you go back to the Jimmy Spencer days running the Sirius Cup car, or you go back to Dick Trickle running whatever the hell he was running.
And smoking as they're qualifying.
And his wingtips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even Tony Stewart at one time was like, bro, get back in shape. And he did. He got himself a trainer.
2006 was when he started to turn the corner.
Freak Nation, next hour, another big hour here in the Freak Nation. Daniel Suarez will sit down with us, and J.R. Todd, Funny Car winner. Big second hour of the Freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Now that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the Freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Lucas Oil, it works.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statt Mann.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Daniel Suarez will join us here in the Freak Nation. A good sit down with him and J.R. Todd, NHRA Funny Car winner over the weekend in Gainesville, kicking off the 2024 season NHRA. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Last hour, we had Christopher Bell sit in with us, also Josef Newgarden, IndyCar Series winner from St. Pete. He was here. If you missed any of the show, you can listen to it. You can download it, speedfreaks.tv, or watch it again on YouTube or on Facebook. Our Facebook pages, or on Speed Freaks YouTube page at official Speed Freaks. Richard C. Suave still hanging out there in the press room, media center at the Phoenix International Raceway. They trying to kick your butt out of there, Richard C.?
No, I actually haven't gone outside of my little room here for the entire show, so I may be the last one here. In fact, at the end of the last hour, I had somebody come in here thinking the room was empty, and they were like, "Oh, you're still here?" Like, yeah, I'm still here. Still got an hour left for the show. A lot of big names to come. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, fond memories, right, Kenny?
Yes.
Of Fontana last year. I was the last one in the media center. St. Louis, WWT Raceway. Last ones in the media center.
Hey, Richie, you have not seen your share of media centers like the three of us have, but how would you rate the Phoenix Raceway Media Center food extravaganza?
Here's the thing. I have pizza sitting right next to me. That's how you make somebody happy. For our MAP TV viewers, there's some pizza right there. That's how you make me happy, ladies and gentlemen. You just give me free pizza, and I'm 10 out of 10.
Attaboy.
And that is typical at most tracks. Sunday night is pizza night.
Yep.
Because everybody's got a deadline. Everybody's scrambling to do something. So it's like, make it easy and make them happy.
Well, Statt Mann has used a lot of deadlines when he was running newsrooms. I mean, think about this, Statt Mann. When you've got 4 or 5 different things on a plate where you've got to use a fork, a knife, a spoon, salt, pepper, dressing versus a piece of pizza. I mean, you can type with one hand and just eat pizza versus having to saw all that up and put it in your mouth.
Pizza is one of the major food groups, isn't it?
Yep, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, pizza and Snickers bars.
There you go.
2 of the major food groups right there.
Freak Nation, I want to resume our conversation, get a little deeper into what we talked about 2 segments ago regarding IndyCar and the news that came out with Michael Andretti, basically calling out Roger Penske and his entertainment group about the below average promotion of that series and how much room there is to grow this series. And as Crasher was texting this group thread that we have going on, I forgot to mention in that last segment that this Be and Moan session with Michael Andretti caught Penske and Penske Entertainment off guard, Crasher.
That's what I'm believing, because they're
really though. How does that not get leaked to Penske?
No, it's not that it didn't get leaked. It's that finally somebody went public. Somebody talked to media who publicized it instead of just having these thoughts in their own head. There was an article, I believe it was the Indy Star again, that did a follow-up to that shocking headline from Friday night that basically said Michael Andretti to Roger Penske, either invest more money in the series or sell it to somebody else. Of course, talking about the IndyCar series. The follow-up by Nathan Brown with the Indy Star on Saturday had, in not so many words, the Penske Entertainment Group saying, well, we've decided to hush the silent and vocal critics of the series by finally putting together our subcommittee. It was interesting wording to me. It's like, oh, so you know that there have been these whispers behind your back. You've known about this, but you haven't addressed them until they finally went public.
What exactly is a subcommittee versus a committee?
Well, in theory, a subcommittee is supposed to be an adjunct to the committee. And if Roger Penske is the committee, then this subcommittee is somebody that answers to him, or Mark Miles, who runs the racetrack. Then the team owners. I keep saying this, and it keeps sounding like all they know how to do is to put stuff together like they did in kart. This is not the issue of having, whether you're in the city or urban tracks, or sell more tickets. You've got to reach people, and that happens in media, new media, social media, devices, not TVs, devices. And they're stuck on the old way of doing things. It doesn't seem like anybody is young enough to try the new stuff. It's frustrating, and I don't have any money invested in this, but I like the series, and it's frustrating to watch them struggle.
And to clarify, when you say they seem to believe, or they seem to not be doing things correctly in this day and age. They seem to be doing things the old way, the old kart way. They is Penske Entertainment. It's not Michael Andretti. It's not, Meyer Shank Racing. It's because those are some of the teams that have been complaining and saying, listen to us, please. We want more. So yeah, it's basically just the Penske Entertainment Group. Sadly, they're the ones that are exclusively in control right now. I hope that they listen to people like Shank, like Andretti, like Ray Hall, who will say, hey, this influx of cash that Michael is talking about, he's not joking. It's okay if you have a partner, Roger, because this partner can give you cash so that you can make Victory Lane open up to the general public, so that you can bring DJs to the paddock and make them more public accessible, so that people can come and feel, instead of spending $200 for a garage pass, they can come in at a much lesser cost and feel, touch, smell everything that makes the series tick. It just makes sense. Do that for your fan base. Do that to bring more fans in. It's necessary.
You know what's going to happen, and we've been very critical of this thermal club activity that they're going to have. That comes up in a couple weeks, and we're going to learn quite a bit about what happens when you take the series behind a wall and armed guards, and they learn that they can't charge a bunch of money for those tickets because they've cut the price of the tickets radically just in the past couple of weeks. Evidently, they weren't selling well enough. So let's find out what they know and don't.
Shocker, right?
And it's not, listen, we have, as Statt Mann said, we have nothing invested in this series. We're proponents of this series, some of the best racing we've ever seen in this series. But when you have Roger Penske's group bring up charter costs, $1 million a charter, that's what, $20 million? And Michael Andretti said that $20 million that you're going to charge us for the charters, that needs to be increased by 5-fold to help promote the series. That $20 million is nothing, because that's what Penske was talking about, was using that $20 million to promote the series. That's nothing, man.
That's a drop in the bucket.
That was a lot of money when the kart people were bumping around.
But Roger should know better. He owns multitudes of businesses. He should know that $20 million doesn't do jack.
He's had huge. He's a billionaire. You don't get to be a billionaire by accident. So I don't know why he's.
Right, but you also can't nickel and dime something like this. You just plain can't.
Well, I don't think we're going to disagree with that at all. And again, we do not have an axe to grind in this thing.
I only have my entire life invested in it. This is my absolute favorite series. I'm not trying to. None of us are trying to just be negative, just to create headlines of our own. No, we want to see better because we know it's out there. NASCAR, we were screaming for them to get a better product and to have better marketing 10, 15 years ago. Look what's happened ever since they actually did change their processes, change their thoughts, change their dollar signs. Wow, NASCAR has really come a long way in the last 10 years. So it's possible. IndyCar, you can do it.
So again, Michael Andretti, maybe Michael Andretti, again, took that F1 snub personally, says, you know what? I had this freaking Andretti machete. Hey!
Andretti machete.
I've had the Andretti machete sharpening up in the hauler. I'm going to bring this bad boy out and let her rip and take down IndyCar with this one comment.
No. I know. But what I am getting is, yes, that chip on his shoulder from Formula One dissing him. Might as well put it to good use. And let's see how he can help. And this is only the beginning, how he can help IndyCar get better. And then let's get back to the old days of IndyCar versus F1.
Hey, Richie, 45 seconds. Is it true that Max Verstappen won so much that he had already showered and was piloting his helicopter back to Germany by the time the second place finisher crossed the line in Formula One race Saturday night? Is that true?
I'm just going to say yes, because it makes for a much better story than what actually happened in the race. Hey, congratulations to the 18-year-old rookie, Oliver Bearman, who finished in the points, finished 7th ahead of Lewis Hamilton on Saturday night. It's a great story.
How'd that American team, Haas, do?
They got the points.
Oh,
they got the points. K-Mag, baby.
Richie. Oh, I don't know which is stranger, the fact that I drink wine or Richie follows Formula One like a friggin' heathen right now.
Sorry, it wasn't K-Mag. Sorry.
But nice job, though. Nice follow.
That Behrman story is a great story, though. He didn't even learn about the ride until Thursday or something.
Yeah.
They tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, kid, you want to help us here?"
J.R. Todd, Funny Car winner, did something that his team has never done. He tells us about it next. SpeedFreaks Pistol was old.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Now that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAV TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAV TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined. Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio.
All right, J.R. Todd is back in the Freak Nation doing something that Kalitta Motorsports has never done. They double up in top fuel and funny car class to kick off the 2024 season. And J.R. Todd again joins us here in the Freak Nation, your funny car winner. J.R., you don't smile a whole lot. You don't share some emotions when you come in the Freak Nation, or frankly at all, man. But I detect a little smile there that you're enjoying this big-ass win.
What are you trying to say, Kenny? I smile. Usually I'm mad that we didn't win. So, I mean, when we do win, yeah, I'm pumped. And to, double up here in Gainesville, something that we've never done at Kalitta Motorsports, do it with Connie's car. The weekend that Scott got inducted to the Hall of Fame on Thursday, Scott's family is here. It's a pretty special weekend for us, for sure.
J.R. Todd, NHRA Funny Car winner from Gainesville, joining us here in the Freak Nation. Gainesville, we know where it sits on the mantle for a lot of drag racers to win that race. But once you win Gainesville, what does that win feel like versus other races throughout the 2024 season or throughout the NHRA season?
Yeah, I was just telling the NHRA media that, if this were a golf event, this would be a major. I mean, it's right there with Pomona and Indy. So, it seems like all the greats in our sport have won here. So you always want to try to add your name to the list with those guys. And it's definitely special to win here with all the history of this event, and to be able to do it twice now, it's pretty unbelievable.
It's so funny you say that, because somebody threw that out on social media this week, leading up to the Gator Nats, of course, that NHRA should find a way to implement like a trifecta, or what do you call those things?
Triple crown.
Triple crown, exactly, in which you guys get bonus money if you win all three. I'm sure you'd be a fan of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going from here to another major in my book, to Pomona, the Winter Nationals, which is one of my favorite races. But yeah, I mean, back when we had Englishtown, I felt like there was 4 majors on tour, and it's nice to be able to check one off the list for sure. But yeah, if we had some sort of Triple Crown program, I would be all for that.
JR, can you run us through a crazy weekend like the Gator Nationals? This year's a little different because of the pro shootout that you guys had that gave you some preseason testing. But this weekend, there's a lot of still playing catch up to get your season started. Did you feel some of that anxiety, or was it a relatively easy weekend for you?
This was by far not a smooth weekend for us.
Oh.
We had a pretty good test session there at the Pro Superstar Shootout in Bradenton, and then we wanted to try some different parts and pieces here in Gainesville, and our testing got cut short on Tuesday due to rain, and then Wednesday was a complete wash. So we didn't get to try all the parts and pieces that we wanted, and kind of had to go back to last year's setup. And we just struggled in qualifying. We ended up qualifying 6th. We got down the track Friday evening, made a decent run, but didn't make it, to the finish line on 8 cylinders by any means, and ran a 389, I think, at 324. So just had a problem with smoke in the tires out there about 400 feet or so. So we had some issues going on in the bell housing that even carried over to today. And I didn't know what to think going up there in the final against Austin Prock. You know, Jimmy Prock, he's always, you know, the car that kind of sets the tone for everybody in the funny car class. Like he goes up there, I think, to run low ET every time. And we hadn't been getting down the track. So I just told myself I need to go up there and hit the tree, especially against Austin, and try and keep this thing stuck down the middle of the groove. And sure enough, 88 come up on the scoreboard. And it just shows that there's no quit in these guys. And, you know, I have all the faith in the world in them. And I almost screwed it up there second round against Caps and gave it away. And I feel like they kept faith in me. And the only way I could ever pay them back was by giving them one of these guys here.
Dang.
You mentioned the Caps weirdness. That was strange. I watched that on television. You hit the pedal, Caps responded, he red lit, and you coasted to the win. What happened?
I wish I could say that we were at a performance disadvantage and I just want to do something to throw him off, but that's definitely not the case. You know, racing a three-time champ in Cap, you know, he's my buddy, my Toyota teammate. And you got to be up on the wheel against guys like that. And it seemed like we had a really long light. When I say that, it just means once we're both staged and ready, it seemed like it took a long time for the tree to activate. And I flinched a little too hard. And luckily I was staged shallow enough and had a handful of brake that it didn't break the beams. And unfortunately, you know, it threw him off and he red lit. And right away, I went up and apologized and said, yeah, you know, I did not mean to do that at all. And I'd be pissed if somebody did that against me. But at the end of the day, we were lucky enough to turn on the win light.
And you got lucky in the semis against Tasca. What a pedal fest. You were fighting and both of you were on and off. Does that happen to you often? And what goes through your head when both of you were sitting there just trying to get to the finish line?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of drive these things by the seat of your pants and do whatever it takes to get to the finish line ahead of the guy next to you. And it went out there and spun. And like I said, it's been kind of spinning the tires in the same spot. So I don't want to say you're prepared for it, but when it happens, you react to it. And these things now, once they spin the tires like that and the RPMs go up and the supercharger boost, the manifold boost pressure goes up, they have a sensor on it that almost shuts the car off to keep from blowing the body off like we did there in Pomona last year. So that went off and I just kept the thing floored. And somehow it was almost like it was getting enough air through the injector without the blades being wide open that it was just kind of like just idling a little bit faster than normal. And it was enough to get by Tasca. And it was kind of a helpless feeling. I expected him to go flying by us and he never did.
Years ago, that when Conrad called you, you were sitting down to a plate of wings getting ready to watch March Madness on TV. And that's how you found out you were going to be driving eventually to a championship. You got a win here. You got another plate of wings waiting for you?
Yeah, you know, I should head back to Plainfield, Indiana at that BW3 and have a plate of wings and a Bud Light. It's coming up on March Madness, almost 10 years to the date to where I got that call from Connie. But yeah, I was kind of down on my luck, or down on, I don't want to say down on my luck, just down in the dumps at that time. Didn't think I was ever going to be racing full time. I was racing part time, and sure enough, got that call in 2014. And I'd like to say that changed my life and kind of restarted my career for me. That was a life-changing thing for me for sure.
Wow. Now go ahead, Kenny. Mine doesn't make sense anymore.
Do the hangovers get worse for you now, J.R. Todd, now that you're older and you can't party like you were 22 anymore?
None of us can, Kenny.
Kenny, I think you're a little older than me, so you know from experience. Yes, they do.
Curtail your drinking now? You're partying after a win?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, these guys on the DHL Funny Car, they're a lot younger than I am, most of them, and they like to drink their Coors Light, so I might have a couple with them. But I don't know. Eventually, I got to drive back to Jupiter, which is like a 4-hour drive from here. So we'll see if I make that happen tonight or in the morning.
Yeah, give him some static, JR. He doesn't need to be worried about that. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Do you put a seatbelt around Wally in the front seat of your Toyota?
I actually, hopefully they're still here. We still have to do the winter circle celebration, but I want to give it to Scott's wife and family if she'll take it. If not, it's definitely going to go home in my Toyota Tundra with me.
It's badass. J.R.
Good
Todd,
for you. Good
Funny
for
Car
you.
winner from
Awesome.
Gainesville, dude. It's always fantastic when you roll in Freak Nation, man. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
J.R. Todd. Last time he was in the Freak Nation, I think he might have been a teenager. Good to get him back here with the Freaks.
That's not.
Like myself, some J.R. Todd. I love his dry sense of humor, man.
I've always liked J.R. Todd. Yes,
Yep.
he's fun. He's a lot of fun.
And I can understand how we don't have enough time to get into the Scotty Kalitta story, but I can understand how you get emotional with that. It's quickly, Scott Kalitta is Doug Kalitta's cousin. It is Conrad or Connie Kalitta's son who passed away. I know exactly where I was. It happened in June of Englishtown. How many years ago?
Jeez, mid 2000s.
I was driving my big brother, little brother to Northern California when someone called me in the U-Haul truck to tell me what had happened with Scott Kalitta passing away.
Was that the accident that cut nitro races to 1,000 feet from?
Oh, I think you're right. I believe that is correct.
JR just said it was 10 years ago. I think that's what he said in the interview.
No, the 10 years. Yeah, the 10 years part was how that was his getting the call from Conrad. That was 10 years ago. Yeah.
So significant, man. Coming up next, your Statt Man scat. It's a heck of a scat. I learned something about a freaking movie star that I had no clue that she was part of, and the significance that she played in your everyday life. It's coming up in your Statt Man scat. And Daniel Suarez coming up. Big 35 minutes left here in the Freak Nation. Yeah, sure. 35 minutes. I'll go with that. More Freaks coming up. Speed Freaks, Pitts, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Now that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the Freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
I hope you remembered International Women's Day Friday. It was a time to celebrate the achievements of women. In the automotive world, more women were involved in creating the automobile than are recognized now. For example, there are 13 female inductees in the Inventors Hall of Fame, only 3 for car-related inventions like the heater and the windshield wiper. There's one, though, that might have had a part to play in how you are watching me right now. Actress Hedy Lamarr was born in Vienna in 1914, escaped the Nazis, and ended up a Hollywood star. She may be best known for Ziegfeld Girl in 1941 and Samson and Delilah in 1949. But along the way, Lamarr loved to tinker and solved problems. In fact, she helped develop a way to track torpedoes during World War II. The technology that manipulated radio frequencies was used in the creation of Wi-Fi in the 1990s, half-century later. Lamarr's contributions led to her being inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame in 2014. The Only Woman in the Room by Marie Benedict details Lamarr's life. You should take the time to read it. Peace.
So much that comes out of that Statt Mann scat, brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Now through the end of April, get yourself back $70 when you buy 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire. Go to generaltire.com for more information. So, I've got to be careful here because Harvey Korman played. Are you, Richie? You know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Okay. You know where I'm going with this. Harvey Korman played Hedy Lamarr in Blazing Saddles. So, bear with me here that it's Hedy Lamarr that Statt Mann is talking about, okay? So, Hedy Lamarr developed something that they eventually used to track torpedoes, which reminds me.
Eventually, she worked with a friend to manipulate radio frequencies to track torpedoes. That technology helped the people who eventually created Wi-Fi.
Got it.
But what she did was immediately put to use.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Immediately. Yeah, that book, The Only Woman in the Room, is an incredible story. When she escapes from her first husband, who was an arms dealer who was working with the Nazis, and how she got out of the house, left him, went to London. It's a great book. It's like they say, a page turner. You'll love it.
Well, which brings me to the number 17. I believe it's Chris Buescher's car, the buildsubmarines.com car. It's out there. You could build anyway. So what Statt Mann was talking about on the heels of International Women's Day, when it is Women's History Month, all of March, I got to say that we're pretty proud to be a part of the MAV TV family, where they continue to recognize this month women in motorsports. You'll notice if you watch MAV TV that the female voice cutting some of these spots is Crash Gladys. She's doing some features regarding some of these women in motorsports. So playing off what Statt Mann had to say about Hedy Lamarr, it's difficult, is absolutely fantastic because of what women continue to do, Erica Enders, by beating the Jesus out of dudes wearing pants in motorsports.
The Bud Jesus.
Yes. Beats the dungarees.
Well, she's got 6 or going for 6 this year. She's going for 6 this year, isn't she?
Good heavens, even I've lost count. And she just got another one last year. Was that her 5th or her 6th?
Yeah, I think it was her 5th, and
I think
she's
it was
going
her
for
5th,
6
yeah.
this year.
Regardless, it's fantastic that, again, we've been strong proponents of recognizing women in motorsports, and I get tired of asking it, but I still feel obligated to bring it up in our conversations when we interview successful women or women in general in motorsports about some of the negativity that comes along with being a woman in motorsports. It's still there. It's not as gnarly as it was, frankly, when Crasher started. She's blazed a trail for a few out there. Go back to Shirley Muldowney. You can go back to Janet Guthrie. You can go back to Lynn St. James. It's not as gnarly. It's still there. There's
It's
still
shocking
issues with
to
it.
me that it's still there.
Yeah.
But maybe it shouldn't shock me. Look what's happening in Formula One right now with Christian Horner and
Right. Well, let's don't dig that rabbit hole right now. Let's celebrate the fact that MAV TV and yours truly, Speed Freaks, champion women in motorsports. How does Statt Mann dig it out of the dirt to talk about Hedy Lamarr developing?
because that's what Statt Mann does.
I get it.
He takes what's the obvious conversation and just blows it up into something that you're like, huh, I never would have known that had you not done that research. Amazing.
I'm sitting in my car in between my daughter's soccer games, editing Beat the Freaks, uploading it to Twitter, thanks to cell phones and Wi-Fi. Thank you, Hedy Lamarr. Nice job.
Exactly.
Right?
She didn't create Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was created long after she was dead. But the technology that she developed is what they used to create Wi-Fi.
It was Al Gore that created the internet, right? Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
You went there.
I did. I went there. I had to go there, man.
Yeah, speaking of rabbit holes.
Hey, who is it? Here you go. I'm going to put everybody on the spot. And I'm going to go last because I need to figure out my answer. Richie, when you think of women in motorsports, your go-to female in motorsports, not necessarily for blazing a trail, but the significance of a woman in motorsports. She doesn't have to drive a car. She doesn't have to own a team. She could be changing the right rear tire of a cup team. Who's the
Danica Patrick?
You on this screen right now.
Right. True. Go ahead. Say it again, Richie.
Danica Patrick.
Explain why.
Because she was the face of IndyCar and NASCAR for much of the early part of the early to mid 2000s when I started to understand really watch motorsports for the most part. And she had a lot of crossover. She was on ESPN. She was on the cover of magazines, and she was the biggest kind of female athlete in the motorsports world for the longest time when I was younger, and kind of still is. She still shows up on Formula One broadcasts all the time and is still a big name around the motorsports world. If you ask people who Danica Patrick is out on the street, most people are like, oh yeah, the race car driver. still to this day.
Well, and I can promise you that the Danikas that I see in Henley's soccer tournament, that name didn't come from someone in their family. It came from Danica Patrick. There wasn't a Danica out there until Danica Patrick.
There is a Danica in Henley's class. And I remember 3 years ago, I think it was. So when they were in first grade, I just flat out asked her, I said, how did you get your name? She said, well, my mom said there's a female race car driver. And I'm like, that's all I needed to know.
Also, Enzo. We know 3 Enzos at Henley's school. Yeah. And if you know Ferrari, you know it's Enzo Ferrari. It's like, yeah. All right. No Formula One conversation. Statt Mann, who's your go-to when it comes to female in motorsports?
Michelle Mouton.
Yes.
Rally driver, won at least 4 World Rally Championship events, was an Audi factory driver, and eventually started the International Race of Champions competition, and she's changed lives and still is doing that. Was just at a conference a week ago yesterday in Washington.
Crasher, who's your go-to?
Mine is Lynn St. James. When I was, I guess, I don't know if everybody knows, when I was a princess for the Indy 500 in 1992, Lynn St. James was the Rookie of the Year. I got a chance to meet her, and it just burst my entire mind wide open. My love of IndyCar was already there, but she just expanded it for me. And then getting to know her through the years and what she is doing with the Women in Motorsports panels and her Women in Motorsports Foundation, she is not giving up the fight for women's equality and just pushing for people to get in the business because of your passion, because of your knowledge, because you can do it. You're no different than a man. You can do it just as well as they can. And I love her passion for all of us in the sport.
Lynn St. James. Love her. Yep, good friend of the Freaks. Mine is Shirley Muldowney. I don't have time to get into it, but Shirley Muldowney is my go-to when I've got to credit females in motorsports. His name is Daniel Suarez, also doing something that a Mexican driver has never done in the Cup Series. He joins us next, Freaks.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Now, that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the Freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Back with the Freaks, MAV TV, or SpeedFreaks.tv, the Freak Radio Network. Been doing this for darn near 24 years, Freak Nation. One radio station, June of 2000 now. My goodness. 100 plus stations across the country, including SiriusXM, every audio app you can imagine, and of course on MAV TV. Real quick, Richie, before getting Daniel Suarez, when was that anniversary of that gnarly Darlington race? Back in the day, we were going to talk about that at one time. Was that last week? The 10-year anniversary or something? Was it Darlington?
Yeah, it was. I think it was 20 years ago. Yeah.
Was it 20 years ago?
Yeah.
With not Ricky Rudd. With
2000. Oh, you're talking about 2003. It was 2003 with Ricky Craven. Yeah.
And Kurt Busch, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Yeah. We were going to talk about that. There was an anniversary that was coming. Anyway. I bring that up because Daniel Suarez will live in infamy for not just being the first Mexican driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race. Was that last year, Crasher, the road course? Regardless, a Mexican driver has not won the Cup Series until Daniel Suarez came in. But with this Atlanta race, we'll be talking about that finish. Couple of races ago, we had a chance to catch up with him at Phoenix International Raceway.
Can I tell you real quick, on the red carpet today, nobody commanded that red carpet even remotely close to what Daniel Suarez did. He was late to the driver's meeting. He had a NASCAR official come up to him at one point and say, hey, the meeting's already started. You've got to get in there. Awesome. He still didn't go in. He still stayed and signed probably another 2 minutes at least. And then after the meeting, he came back out. All the other drivers, some of them stopped and signed a little bit, but most of them just walked back to the garage. He went the entire way down the fan line and signed everybody's autograph again. Wow. Good for him.
Daniel Suarez talking about that Atlanta finish. We can't get enough of that finish when it comes to Atlanta. Daniel Suarez. I've got to ask this of you first off. How many times have you gone back and watched that finish? And each time you've gone back and watched it, does it get even better or does it lose its luster?
For me, the best part of everything, actually, I've watched the finish several times. But for me, the best video of everything from that last lap was actually a video that somebody took from the pit box, and they were filming my crew chief, engineers, Ty Norris, Julia, and they were watching the screen, watching live. Like that part for me, that was the best part because, the emotions that they are going through in that moment is quite special. Really, inside the race car, I feel like I'm alone already, and I'm just doing my thing, and everything is happening kind of like in an automatic way, I would say it. But to see all the emotions and all the excitement and adrenaline gone from a video on top of the pit box, and actually I just saw this video for the first time yesterday, and I thought it was pretty spectacular. That's one of the best videos I have seen.
You bring up a good point, though. When you're in the car, you feel alone. I've never really thought about that with you guys as drivers, because you're right. You're in there for hours. It's just you have people talking in your head, but it is just you. You can't high five somebody when you come across the finish line. But in saying that, how many times, and I'm asking this for a reason, how many times do you maybe think about the fan base or your sponsors? Because my daughter, our daughter, the minute you cross that line and shoot, it's Suarez. And she goes, oh my gosh, he speaks Spanish just like me. It was just so enlightening to her. Instantly, she became a fan of you just because she related to you, and it was so cool.
Yeah, I would say that happens like after the fact, for me, it took, I would say, a solid 45 minutes to an hour to actually realize how cool it was. The moment is a win, right? And you just want to be happy and celebrate, but you don't really know the details of it, how everything happened and how every single person, fan, at home, in different places in the country, different places in the world, they actually experience it. And obviously I saw this from a different level, from the pit box, all these guys that are talking to me and are seeing all the data and everything. So it was quite special. It was actually very, very special. Look, I have we're gonna be able to see it here, but look, I will show you the video very quick. It's only 30 seconds. Like, look at that.
That's a perfect perspective.
But even they're like, wait a minute, did we? Did we not? Did we?
They're not. They're just kind of like, yeah, they don't know.
It's going to hit here soon.
and then they don't know again. But that's for me, that's the best part, like how everyone is full of emotion and there is a lot of things happening, and everyone is in their own world. So it's quite special. That really made my day yesterday when I saw that, because I'm a big part of creating these experiences and emotional moments, not just to myself but for my entire team. Julia was there covering her mouth for half a lap. I don't know what she's doing that, but doing it, and so just things like that. It's special.
Daniel Suarez joining us here in the Freak Nation Lucas Oil Studios. My first impression of Mexican fans was playing soccer against Monterrey growing up in Texas. And I'm 10, 11 years old. And I didn't understand the fervor of Mexican football fans, soccer fans at the time, how we were pretty reserved. Our parents were pretty reserved, but the parents of the kids going bonkers. And as I get older, I see the passion of Mexican fans when it comes to sports. Watching that reminds me of how Mexicans go bonkers for their soccer, their sports. What were you doing inside the car? Were you what I picture as a Mexican person going crazy inside the car? Just like, okay. That makes sense, right?
No, totally. It totally does. I totally understand what you're saying, because, I'm part of that community, right? I would say that inside the car, like I said, I'm alone, right? Like I'm not gonna high five with anyone. So it's just me and my helmet and the steering wheel. So it's different, that all the emotions, they go through the radio a little bit, but really I'm alone. So it's a little different situation. But I think you are completely right. I've been part of those soccer matches, not just in Mexico but also here in the United States, and every time that I go to a match in LA or anywhere in the country where there is a big Hispanic fan base, it's huge. It's huge. These guys are super passionate and very, very noisy, and they like to make, they like to have a great time. And I'm very proud that slowly we are bringing these kind of fans to NASCAR.
Listen, I was in the Coliseum with L3 versus USA 25 years ago, and I've never seen anything like it. You knew where the Mexican fans were, and you knew where the U.S. fans were or are. Do you drive like Mexican soccer players? They're just, it's like full from beginning to end.
Oh, yeah.
Do you drive? Are you emotionally like those Mexican soccer players I would play against?
That's a good question. I think it has to be a balance. I think you have to have a balance. We don't do sprint races. We do marathons. And I think that if I had that mentality of going wide open the entire time full, well, I will hit a lot of things. and I will make a lot of mistakes in the process too. So you have to have a balance. You have to have restarts that way. You have to make passes that way, but you have to have a balance to be able to win races in marathons. Sometimes is not the strongest guy which wins the race, it's the smartest guy. So you have to have the balance, and I think that I have only find that out and learn that out with years, with experience.
Statt Mann, you made a note during the text thread of the recognition that he gets now with a big race win in Atlanta, how calm and cool he is in interviews.
Yeah, I mean, just watching him leaning back, and I imagine he was leaning back in his chair, his back to the wall, and he's like, cool, I got this. And that wasn't the case with Suarez, even last year. I'm so happy for him that he's able to concentrate on the playoffs now. He's got the season, he's building a fan base, and he's probably going to get great rides and another contract. It's great. I'm really happy for him.
Chelsea Denofa, sorry, couldn't get to you this show. I know you were waiting outside to come in the studios, but we just couldn't do it. Sorry, we'll try better. We'll try again next week. We'll do better next week, I promise. Statt Mann, Crash Gladys, Richard C. Suave, Kenny Sargent, Richie, Crasher, thanks for kicking ass at Phoenix Raceway this weekend. Statt Mann, as we do it every Sunday night, shoot the juice to the moose and do what?
Cut it loose.
Later.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Now that's a good-looking tire from General Tire, the official tire of the ARCA Racing Series. You can't get that one on your hot rod, but you can get now through the end of April 4 qualifying passenger tires and get up to $70 back the Visa prepaid card. We can all use a little bit of cake in our wallet, in our purse, in our pockets, right? 4 qualifying passenger tires get up to $70 back from General Tire. General Tire, over 20 years with the freaks, and of course, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your your family's health insurance, it's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Lucas Oil, it works.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.